everyone, it's Aaron Ball, and welcome to Stay in Touch. You know, we hear headline after headline of isolation, and they can all feel so very overwhelming. But I'm here to tell you that you're not alone, and this program is about showing how this town can change, everything for our community. We're going through a biological test, an emotional and physical one as well. Now, I'm no expert in the medical profession, just a concerned citizen who knows how to run a camera and can sit down and talk. And I believe in this town, and I believe in these people. So what about you? How are you feeling? Do the words "we're all in this together" that we keep hearing ring hollow for you, or are they a poignant rallying cry? I want to invite you to share what you're really feeling online in our social media feeds on Facebook and stay connected. Our goal is to really reach out with information from health experts and mental health professionals as well. We're here for you. It's all about being together, sharing information in real time, providing a platform for our community leaders and local organizations and small businesses to get the word out, the messages about how we can help them succeed. If you are in need of food, shelter, or clothing and really need help, please contact us. We will happily put you in touch with resources to keep you safe. So let's switch gears briefly. I've got a real treat for you today. Commissioner Lumon May. Commissioner, thank you so much for being on the program today. Man, you've seen a lot in your lifetime. How does this crisis compare to other things you may have seen?
Well, and I've never really been in an epidemic. I've read about it, and certainly have not been in a pandemic. I've been through hurricanes. I remember as a kid, Hurricane Frederick, and obviously as an adult and being in the construction industry, Hurricane Ivan, and when the Andrew hit in Homestead, I was working for the Salvation Army, so I had an opportunity to go make that trip to provide disaster relief there when I was an employee at the Salvation Army. But this is a different type of epidemic. It's a different type of attack here. And what I see, there are not buildings that are torn down. There are not big trucks that are coming in. There's not a lack of water. But I think what this has done to the morale, because people have to stay in the house, you can't do the Southern hospitality that we were very accustomed to here in Pensacola. We hug and love, we high five and jive. Those are the things that keep us alive here in Northwest Florida, and so those things have been halted. And but I'm optimistic that we will restore, we will heal, and we're in it together, and we won't be here always. And if people continue to self-isolate, practice social and physical segregation, I think we'll get out of this, and we'll get out of it alive.
Commissioner, I know you're doing a lot to educate and inform about the risks of COVID-19. I know you've made a mail piece that is going out. Tell us about the purpose of that to your constituents.
Yes, I think someone's going to put it up on the screen for us. But certainly I have the opportunity, and I'm very proud to represent District 3, many of the pockets of poverty, many of the forgotten neighborhoods, and some of those are the disadvantaged neighborhoods. And sometimes not only do we lack the resources, we lack the information about the resources that are available, so those resources escape our constituents. So we were happy to put together a mail piece to send out to our constituents so they could know, so they could be informed. And I partnered with Dr. Michelle Greer-Hall at Community Health, a medical doctor who certainly has the science and the knowledge to educate the public. And so I wanted those who live in my district and those who may not know the information to get it in their hands, get it in their mailbox. And so we were thankful for the support of staff, and certainly it should be hitting the mailbox, and people have already read it. And that's what we want to do. We want to educate people social distancing is important. Don't congregate. Don't be in large groups. Wash your hands. Sanitize surfaces. Sanitize your steering wheel. Make sure that you make the sacrifice, and it's a great sacrifice to be away from your family, to be away from your friends. But we ask people, for the next 30 days, to listen to the things that we've gotten from the president, the governor, Center for Disease Control, and segregate at this moment, but not isolate. I mean, you segregate physically, but emotionally and socially, you continue to connect with your grandmama, your mama, your cousin, your friends, text, email, Facebook, call, and make sure that you do stay in communications, because the psychological effects of this virus is very detrimental as well to our mental and our physical health.
So, Commissioner, you're doing so much to inform the public. I know a key part of that mailer is promoting the free testing at the Brownsville Community Center. Can you tell us a little bit more about that program?
Well, yeah, thank you, and that's a great question. As we know that there are many Americans, hundreds of thousands of Americans and millions of Americans that lack health care insurance, and we're no different. We're a microcosm of America, and not everyone has a great job of great insurance. And so I wanted to make sure that we did our part in stopping the spread and making sure that everyone could get tested. And so we partner with Community Health and our healthcare providers. I call Mark Faulkner at Baptist Hospital, and we got Gaynard at West Florida, and we got Justin and Don at Ascension at Sacred Heart, and we partnered to make sure that we went into one of the oldest neighborhoods in Escambia County, Brownsville, and we set up an outside testing center at the Brownsville Community Center that has gone well. And those who are displaced, many homeless people, many people, we're unique in that we're probably the only testing site that you can walk up. You have to get pre-screened, but once you're pre-screened, you can walk up. And so we're very proud that we led the charge and partnered with the mayor. And whenever there's a crisis, I believe that leaders should step up. And I felt that it was my responsibility and my duty to my community to make sure that the resources that were available in other neighborhoods were also available in the west side of Pensacola, in the heart of Brownsville.
Commissioner, I know it's hard to ask this directly, but do you know folks with the virus? What are you hearing from people on the front lines dealing with this?
Well, I tell you, let me just say the healthcare providers, and not only the healthcare executives, but the nurses, the screeners, the receptionist, the medical assistant that signs people up and registers, the people who are on the phone doing the pre-screening. Those are heroes. In time of war, we certainly honor our soldiers and those who go on the front line of the battlefield. And this silent killer of the coronavirus, we have the medical community that's on the front line. But we can't forget those who are coming to work and they are at the grocery store being the cashier. They are stocking the shelves when it comes in. They're unloading the 18-wheelers. The people who are risking their lives, whether they're driving Lyft or Uber or Uber Eats, and they're going to the restaurants and keeping these restaurants in business and going and delivering food to the homes of people who are staying in, who are abiding by the recommendations of the governor and the recommendations of the CDC. And so I only know of one person. Personally, what we've heard many frontline stories, and so what we want to emphasize, Aaron, is this. And people say, well, we're not New Orleans, we're not Mobile, and I think that that's because we had aggressive leadership that was progressive, and we got out front of this very early. The mayor and I got together, 3 weeks when we heard this, and say, we got to start practicing social and physical segregation. We got to start informing the community, and that's one of the reasons we did the mailer. That's one of the reasons that we went live on Facebook and just educating the community. And so we do have some difficult days ahead. This virus is traveling not only the country, but it's traveling the world, and it's brought itself to our community and to Escambia County, and we're going to have to step up to the challenge. But together, we really can solve this problem, Aaron, and I think that we will be restored. Our economy will be restored, our health will be restored, and our walk of life and our daily living will be restored.
Those are very encouraging words, Commissioner. Thank you. Well, last question, because I know how busy you are. Do you have a story that you'd like to share about how a team or individuals are going above and beyond for the community at this difficult time?
I want to just say to our staff here at the county, and Leroy Williams took the initiative and said, you know what, we are doing a lot of testing in cars, but what about our constituencies who don't have a car? And so the safety of our medical personnel was to always test in a chamber in the car. And so our staff, Leroy and Claire Long and Drill, you know, they came up with the idea of why can't we do walk-ups? And they partnered with Sandra Smiley and Sandra Donaldson to make that happen. And so there are so many heroes, people just feeding, cooking food, taking it to people. You know, I heard a story on yesterday where a young lady thought about the opportunity of, she's only 9 years old, and heard the story of people suffering and said, Dad, can I give all of my money to the people who have the virus? And so, I mean, I tell you, we know that this community is stepping up. Josh Sitton just called me and said, how do we feed people? How do we do it? I mean, you can go to, you can go talk to Troy Rafferty or Eric Stevenson. People are just looking for the opportunity to help. And that's because we do have a community that really cares. And the reality of it is, Aaron, I could pick out a million stories, but the most important story is the story that you and I shared earlier today, is that no one recognizes more than each of us how important each of us really are.
Commissioner, I know you are representing so many people that are really struggling right now, and I know how difficult it can be. So thank you for everything you and your team are doing. Last thing, what would you say to the children, the kids at home that are now studying from home, like my daughter who's 11? What would you share with them about the future that they can expect?
Well, I tell you that we're going to come out as a more savvy community. I mean, the technology that we've implemented because of being isolated is technology that I think that's going to go forward. I think that there are going to be new ideas and new innovation that's going to make the quality of life much better after we roll out of what we're in. But I encourage young people to read a book, find the family time, study for the ACT, engage. I mean, you know, you can still walk outside and you can play hopscotch, or you can play kickball. I mean, there are things that you can do that doesn't allow for you to congregate and be up on in close proximity to people. I said, but more importantly, I think that what this is going to do for our children and for our community is demonstrate that somebody loves you. And that's the message that we give each and every day in our community center, that no matter what, we love you. And I think that that's the message that people will get after this. Someone cares for you and someone loves you.
Well, man, that's awesome. And we love you, Commissioner. Thank you for all the work you're doing on the front line. Stay healthy, man. Wear those masks and take care of yourself.
Thank you so much, Aaron, for having me today.
So there you have it, you guys. Give us your feedback on social media. I'd love to hear additional questions. I'd be happy to send them over to Commissioner May and leadership that we're in touch with. We really care about hearing from local leaders, but not just the leadership. Everybody who's stuck at home, who's experiencing new challenges, we want to invite you to join the conversation as well. So check out our Facebook information and engage with the community there. After the break, we'll be right back with more Stay in Touch.
Hey everybody, this is Ruthie Christie, Executive Director of the Pensacola Young Professionals. I'm here at the Real Talk desk, and we are going to be here every day to get your questions answered. So please connect with us and let's stay in touch.
From our miles of sugar white sand and emerald Gulf waters to our picture-perfect blend of arts, history, and Southern hospitality, folks have always come to Pensacola to escape, refresh, and relax. Enjoying Pensacola's many experiences has been put on pause for a while, but we want you to know that we're still Pensacola. For over 450 years, we've emerged from every challenge stronger and better. This time will be no different. Until we see you again, please take care of one another. We'll save you a spot in the sand.
Hey everybody, you're back again with Aaron Ball. Thanks for watching. We just want to take a moment to thank you for all the outpouring of suggestions and comments and questions for interviews, recommendations on what we should cover, everything from mental health to education for our kids, and interviews with people on the front lines keeping us safe. We're all together on this, and we want to invite you to stay engaged every day. I also want to take a minute to give a huge shout out to WEAR TV, led by the incredible news division, Sue Strawn, everybody behind the anchor desk, literally risking their lives on a regular basis to keep us informed. Our mandate, our job here, when I went and spoke with Sue, is about diving a bit deeper than they have time for on the local news, because they're covering such fast-paced, rapid changes. Our hope is that we can bring inspiration and the human side to chronicle what we all did as a community to beat this and grow, and not only grow, thrive beyond COVID-19. So we want to say again, thank you, and a shout out to the incredible vital work that WEAR TV is doing on all our behalfs here in the local market. Thank you for your service. So let's switch gears briefly and talk about something that I think you'll find valuable.
Hey everyone, I just want to welcome you to the Pensacola Mask Sewers page. I'm Jess, and I really appreciate that all of you guys have jumped on board and want to make masks and want to help our doctors and nurses here in Pensacola. This has just been amazing and incredible. I'm sitting here at my sewing machine as well, having a good time making masks. When I started the page on Saturday, I had no idea it was going to get so big, but I was trying to really stay ahead of the need, and we are just slightly ahead of that need. So if you can take your completed mask to the Fabric Zoo, and there's an address for that, it's on 9th Avenue. So yes, your help is needed. We so appreciate what everyone is doing. It's just beautiful, it's amazing. But in order to get everyone a mask who needs a mask, all over the city. You know, we're not just talking about hospitals and facilities, we're also talking about grocery stores and the police, fire stations, all kinds of people have requested now. And the only way we can meet all of the demand is if we all work together. So please take your completed mask to the Fabric Zoo, or have it picked up if you are not leaving your home, and they will have it delivered to the Fabric Zoo. And then I promise you there is a team of people who will deliver those masks to the appropriate places. I have asthma, so I'm not leaving my home. And I encourage all those who can to please stay inside during this time and do what we can from inside while our healthcare providers are taking care of us. And I know this is a really scary time, and I'm scared too. But this is one way we can all come together, that we can all work together and do something small. And each of our small efforts can add up to something amazing. So again, thank you so much, and just keep sewing.
Jess, it's great to meet you. What you're doing is just remarkable, and to me, it's really blown up. Thanks for taking a few minutes out of your busy day. Your phone must be just absolutely hot to the touch by people volunteering to make masks. How'd you come up with this?
Yeah, well, thanks for taking the interview. It's just been such an incredible community effort. I started the page, I guess, 2 weeks ago now. But not even quite 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks tomorrow. Wow. And I was watching the news. I saw a hospital in Indianapolis put out a call, Deaconess Hospital in Indiana, and just ask people, if you have a sewing machine, can you help us make masks? And yeah. I looked at the pattern. It was really simple. I am not a person who sews. I have made one Halloween costume for my son. But I just got out my sewing machine, tried to make it, saw that it was very easy, and decided that this was something I could do. I wasn't sure, what the need would be, if people would want them, or, where we were at in terms of PPE here in Pensacola. But it is just entirely blown up within a few days. I think within the next day it was 300 people. Today it's over 2,000. it's just been an incredible effort.
It's remarkable, and we just recently heard guidance from President Trump and the federal government that it is time to begin wearing masks voluntarily, or likely very soon involuntarily. And so it's just one more way, it seems you're ahead of the curve. So thank you on behalf of everybody. How many folks are participating, would you say? I know the numbers must be mind-boggling at this point and growing every day, but how many so far?
We have a quite large team that's doing admin. So I would estimate our admin team is now at 30 people as of today. And that is basically just logistics and coordinating transportation and communications. So as soon as I saw the page was starting to grow so rapidly, I asked people to volunteer and kind of just let people tell me, this is my skill, this is what I like to do, this is what I'm good at.
We all have to do our part, right? That's really what this all boils down to. I guess a few questions from our audience. We showed your incredible Facebook video that kind of explained the process right before I got on with you on this interview.
Sure.
And so I really want to kind of unpack how it impacts health systems. Now, are the masks cleaned or before they're delivered? How does that work? That's one of the questions we've been asked.
Yeah, so the healthcare providers and agencies are actually sanitizing their own masks. So once the masks are brought to the Fabric Zoo, the Fabric Zoo has just been so gracious to allow us to use their facility, and they've also been a conduit for people who want to make monetary donations. We're not accepting monetary donations, but we're definitely accepting supplies. So she has sold all of her supplies at cost to us and then donated them to us. Our first week, actually our first 5 days, we had 1,600 masks delivered to 13 agencies. And then this past week, today is Friday, we made 55 agencies. We delivered to 55 agencies over 5,200 masks.
Wow.
So I am guessing, if I had to make a guess, if things continue, we've had 81 new requests today alone. As people are finding out that this is a resource that they can use.
That's amazing.
I feel like we're really at the bottom of the mountain, actually, in terms of what is about to happen. And we're just trying to scale up as fast as we can to be able to categorize and organize each request and get the masks into the right hands.
I would agree with that. We are on the bottom of this curve, and you're certainly ahead of it. So thank you for your leadership on this. Thanks to your entire team. If folks that are viewing this interview want to reach out and have questions without, needlessly blowing up your phone or tying up resources, how can they best get in touch with you and be of value to this effort?
Yeah, the best way to join the team is to join the Pensacola Mask Sewers page itself, and then just go to the announcements section. And we have about 12 or 15 posted announcements there. That includes the pattern if you'd like to become someone who sews masks. And then it also includes how do you get supplies? How do you get supplies if you're in your home, or how do you get supplies if you're still driving? And then what to do once your masks are complete, how to get them back to the Fabric Zoo, and who to call for a pickup if you need a pickup. Everybody right now is operating under the stay-at-home order. We've talked to the Pensacola Police Department, who received masks today, and kind of let them know, here's our outline and plan. Everything we're doing is front porch to front porch, and we're trying to have as minimal contact as possible at the Fabric Zoo, no more than 10 people, of course, at a time, to really keep people safe. And the whole goal is to save lives. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible for people to participate, even people who are immune compromised and, will never leave their home.
It gives everybody such, I think, a sense of purpose and teamwork, what you're pulling off. So thank you for providing all of us an opportunity to contribute, calling all seamstresses and Fellows who sew, now's the time. Get your masks in to Jess Patton. Jess, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. It means
thank
a
you
lot.
so much.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll put a link to your Facebook page, Pensacola
Mask Sewers.
And we'll definitely be in touch to follow up with you guys. Thanks again for doing this interview and for contributing to Pensacola's safety.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks, Jess.
We'll be right back after a quick break.
Here's how you can make your own face covering in a few easy steps with items you can find around the house, like an old scarf, a bandana or a hand towel, or you can make a face covering out of an old t-shirt. Fold it to the middle from the bottom, fold it to the middle from the top, fold it again to the middle from the bottom, and again from the top, and then 2 rubber bands, one on one side and one on the other side. Then you fold either side to the middle and you have yourself cloth face covering. It's that easy.
I want to say thank you to all of our sponsors and contributors to this program. Without you, it doesn't exist. In this time of intense change and turmoil, we all have to band together, and that's what this program and this incredible studio at Blab represent. Thanks for watching.